Okay, I want you to picture a material that breaks all the rules. It feels completely smooth to the touch. In fact, regular tape won't even stick to it. And yet, this same material can grab onto a tomato or a water bottle or just about any surface with incredible strength. So what on earth is going on with this stickiest, non-sticky substance?
And that's the big puzzle, isn't it? How can something have this powerful, vice-like grip, but at the same time feel totally smooth and non-tacky? It just doesn't seem to make sense based on everything we know about how things stick together. But the answer, as we're about to see, is a truly brilliant piece of engineering that was inspired by nature.
So let's just break down how different this is. You know how regular tape works? It's just sticky. It's always on. You have to fight to peel it off, and it always seems to leave that gunky, annoying residue behind. Well, this gecko adhesive is the complete opposite. It's smooth. Its grip is on demand. You can literally turn it on and off. And when you're done, it just lifts away clean as a whistle. No residue, no fuss. It's a total game changer.
And Professor Mark Kutkowski from Stanford, one of the minds behind this tech, he really nails it. Think about it. If you're a robot trying to climb a wall, the last thing you want are feet that are permanently glued on. That's like trying to walk with chewing gum on your shoes. No, you need to be able to grip, then release, instantly. That's the whole magic trick here, stickiness that you can control.
So where did such a wild idea even come from? Well, as you might have guessed by now, the answer comes from nature. For centuries, people have been amazed by geckos, right? How they just scurry up walls and hang from ceilings like it's nothing. For the longest time, everyone just assumed it was some kind of suction cup. But nope, the real secret is so much cooler.
Get this, a gecko's grip is so powerful it can hang its entire body weight from a single toe, just one. And the secret to that superpower isn't something you can see with your own eyes. To really get it, we've got to zoom in, way in, down to the microscopic level of its foot.
Okay, this is where things get really wild. The gecko's toe is covered in these ridges, but on those ridges, you'll find millions of tiny hair-like stalks. And we're not even done yet. Each one of those stalks splits off into billions of even tinier nanoscale tips. It's this incredible layered structure, a structure within a structure within a structure, that gives the gecko its amazing ability.
So, we know how the foot is built, but what's the actual force that's making it stick? What's the physics going on here? Well, it turns out it's a force that is literally all around us, all the time, but it's usually so unbelievably weak that we don't even notice it exists.
It's called the van der Waals force. Now, don't let the sciencey name fool you. This isn't like some powerful chemical bond or superglue. It's way more subtle. Think of it like a tiny, fleeting bit of static cling that happens between two atoms, but only when they get incredibly close to each other.
So here's the quick and dirty version. Imagine an atom from the gecko's foot gets right up next to an atom on the wall. For just a split second, the electrons in the gecko's atom might bunch up on one side. That creates a temporary positive and negative end. That tiny little charge then influences the atom in the wall, and for a fraction of a second, they're attracted. Now on its own, this attraction is next to nothing. It's absurdly weak. But when you multiply it by billions and billions, it becomes an incredibly powerful force. Okay, so you're probably wondering, well, if this force is everywhere, why can't I just stick to walls? It's a fair question. The problem is, this force only works at incredibly close range. And on a microscopic level, even a surface that looks perfectly smooth is actually super bumpy. So when you put your hand on a wall, it's like trying to get two mountain ranges to touch. Only the very tips of the peaks are actually making contact.
And this is where the gecko's biology is just genius. Remember those billions of nanoscale tips on its feet? They're so tiny and flexible that they basically flow into every microscopic nook and cranny of a surface, almost like a liquid. This creates a massive amount of intimate contact. And that's the secret. That's how the gecko multiplies that super weak van der Waals force by billions, turning it into a grip that can actually defy gravity.
So, we've cracked the code. We know the gecko's secret. But, understanding the blueprint is one thing. Trying to actually copy it in a lab, that is a completely different level of challenge. So how did scientists even begin to engineer something that can mimic this natural miracle?
And look, as Professor Kutkowski himself says, we can't perfectly replicate what nature has spent millions of years perfecting. That's just not realistic. But what we can do is create a really clever approximation that captures the most important principles of how the gecko's grip works.
So what does this man-made version actually look like? Well, instead of hairs, imagine a surface covered in a forest of microscopic wedges made of silicone. And when I say microscopic, I mean it. Each one of these little wedges is about 100 times narrower than a single human hair.
And here's the truly genius part, the on-off switch. When you just set the material down on a surface, only the very tips of those tiny wedges are touching. There's almost no contact, so there's no stickiness. But the moment you apply a shear force, that's just a fancy way of saying you pull it sideways, all those little wedges bend over and flop down flat. Suddenly, you've got a massive area of contact. And that's when those van der Waals forces kick in with a vengeance, and you get that incredibly powerful grip.
Now, this brilliant design isn't just a cool experiment stuck in a lab somewhere. It's actually being used in some really amazing ways, giving robots and even people some pretty incredible new superpowers. Let's take a look. All right, get ready for a number that's just going to blow your mind. There's a tiny robot called a microtug. It weighs only 17 grams. That's less than a handful of paper clips. Using this adhesive, it can pull something that's more than 1,000 times its own weight. That strength-to-weight ratio is, well, it's just unbelievable.
To give you a mental image of that, that's like a single person being able to tow a blue whale. I'm not kidding, a blue whale. That is the kind of staggering power we're talking about, and it's all thanks to this on-demand stickiness.
And this power scales up in some pretty amazing ways. A single square inch of this stuff can hold up 10 pounds, so a patch the size of your hand could theoretically support 250 pounds. That means a person could literally climb a glass wall with adhesive pads that are smaller than a single sheet of paper. We're talking real-life Spider-Man here.
And the potential uses are just exploding. We're seeing those tiny robots tow an actual car. They're gentle grippers that can pick up a delicate piece of fruit without bruising it. It's even being tested in space on the International Space Station, helping robots anchor themselves in zero gravity. It is a true superpower, with applications that are literally out of this world.
So, we've gone on this journey from the incredibly intricate design of a gecko's foot all the way to robots that have superhuman strength, all thanks to the power of looking to nature for inspiration. It's just a powerful reminder that some of the most revolutionary ideas are all around us, just waiting to be discovered. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If we figured all this out just from studying a gecko, what other secrets is nature holding, and what are we going to unlock next?